Rockets could grant G-League MVP his longtime wish, the backcourt question hanging over Houston. When the Houston Rockets shocked the NBA world this summer by landing Kevin Durant in a blockbuster deal with the Phoenix Suns, it immediately elevated them from an intriguing young team into one of the league's most fascinating contenders. With Durant joining forces with Alperen Sengun, Fred VanVleet, Jabari Smith Jr., and Amen Thompson, Houston suddenly had a blend of superstar firepower and versatile talent. But even the most stacked rosters have weak points. For the Rockets, that weakness is in the backcourt. More specifically, they lack depth behind VanVleet, their 31-year-old floor general who, while steady and battle-tested, cannot carry the burden of heavy minutes every single night in an 82-game season. Enter JD Davison, the reigning G-League MVP who has been searching for this exact opening. JD Davison's journey from high school star to forgotten prospect. To understand why Davison's story resonates, you have to go back to Tallahassee, Alabama. At Calhoun High School, he was more than just a standout, he was a legend in the making. His mix of speed, bounce, and flair made him one of the most exciting high school guards in the country. YouTube mixes of his dunks and crossovers went viral, drawing attention from college scouts nationwide. At Alabama, Davison entered with high expectations as a one-and-done prospect. His freshman year was promising but uneven, 8.5 points, 4.8 assists, and 4.3 rebounds per game. He dazzled with high-flying plays but struggled with efficiency, shooting only 30% from deep. Scouts saw both the upside and the rawness. Draft night 2022 told the story. He slid all the way to the 53rd pick, where the Boston Celtics took a gamble. Davison himself admitted later that he thought he'd go higher, but slipping that far fueled his drive. Life in Boston, learning patience the hard way. Boston was both a blessing and a roadblock. The Celtics were a title contender with no room for developmental minutes. Their guard depth chart was loaded: Marcus Smart, Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, Peyton Pritchard, and eventually Drew Holiday. For Davison, NBA minutes were a luxury. Instead, he lived in the G-League, honing his craft with the Maine Celtics. Over 2 seasons, he gradually grew more confident as a lead guard. By 2024-25, everything clicked. The G-League MVP season, a star is born. Davison's 2024-25 season was not just good, it was historic. In 30 games, he averaged 25.1 points per game, second in the league, 7.5 assists per game, top 5 in the league, 5.2 rebounds per game, solid for a 6'3" guard, 1.6 steals per game. He did it all while running Maine's offense as the primary initiator. His usage was massive, 19.2 shot attempts per game, but he made the most of it, scoring in bunches and showing improved playmaking reads. Coaches raved about his improved patience in pick-and-rolls, where he started balancing scoring with setting up teammates. He wasn't just looking for his shot anymore, one G-League scout noted. He started controlling the pace, and that's when he became MVP level. Winning the G-League MVP should have been his ticket to NBA stability. Instead, Boston waived him, citing roster constraints. For Davison, it was both heartbreaking and freeing. A fresh start in Houston. Houston quietly signed him to a 2-way deal in July. The move barely made headlines, buried under the Durant blockbuster, but beneath the surface, it may prove one of the saviest under-the-radar moves of the offseason. Why? Because Houston's backcourt depth is thin: Fred VanVleet, reliable starter but aging; Aaron Holiday, streaky scorer, not a true facilitator; Reed Shepherd, talented rookie, but unproven. That leaves a clear opening for someone like Davison, young, hungry, and already experienced in running an offense at the G-League level. How Davison fits the Rockets system. Im Udoka's Rockets are built on defense, ball movement, and discipline. For Davison to crack the rotation, he must prove he can complement the team's stars without overstepping. With Durant, Davison can attack second units while Durant rests, preventing offensive drop-offs. With Sengun, his quick first step pairs well with Sengun's passing. Pick and rolls could become a weapon. With Amen Thompson, both thrive in transition, creating one of the fastest backcourts in the league. But Udoka won't hand him minutes. Defense and efficiency will be non-negotiable. Player comparisons: who could JD Davison become? Every young guard's development path echoes someone else's. For Davison, the possibilities span a wide spectrum. Best case, a Dennis Schroeder-type sixth-man, speedy, fearless, capable of leading second units. Solid role, a Monte Morris-style stabilizer who takes care of the ball and runs an efficient offense. Bust potential, another Vander Blue, dominant in the G-League but unable to adjust to the NBA's pace and physicality. Which outcome he lands in depends on his ability to adapt. The second-rounders struggle. Davison's story is also a reminder of how unforgiving the NBA can be. Second-round picks face a steeper climb than anyone else. For every Nikola Jokic or Draymond Green, dozens never last more than a year. But there's hope. Jalen Brunson, Malcolm Brogdon, and Monte Morris all carved out careers after being overlooked. The key? Specializing in one area that guarantees playing time. For Davison, that must be playmaking and pace control. Why Houston might be his breakthrough spot. Houston is uniquely suited to give him a chance. Unlike Boston, the Rockets aren't locked into a rigid rotation. Their roster is deep but not overstocked with point guards. Fans also crave underdog stories, especially in Houston, where the franchise has rebuilt from years of irrelevance. If Davison breaks through, he won't just be another rotation player, he'll be a symbol of how far the Rockets have come in developing overlooked talent. Scenarios for the 2025-26 season. 1 breakout year. Davison cracks the rotation, averages 8-10 points and 4 assists off the bench, and becomes Houston's surprise X-factor. 2 developmental year. He splits time between the Rockets and their G-League affiliate, showing flashes but mostly preparing for a bigger role in 2026. 3 missed window. If he can't prove efficient or reliable, Houston may move on, and Davison risks being labeled another G-League star who couldn't make the NBA leap. For Houston, Davison is a low-risk investment. But for Davison himself, this might be his make-or-break season. At 22, he still has time, but not much. NBA front offices are quick to move on if a player doesn't prove himself within 2 to 3 years. This is his shot, his long-time wish, his chance to turn potential into reality. The Rockets have the stars, they have the defense, they have the ambition. What they still need are the role players who make a contender whole. JD Davison, the overlooked G-League MVP, has been waiting his entire career for this exact opportunity. If he seizes it, Houston could not only solve its backcourt issue but also unearth the kind of hidden gem that makes championship rosters complete. And for Davison, it would mean everything: a dream fulfilled, a wish granted, and a career finally beginning.